Hey everybody, what's up? Riddle Vion here, and today we'll be jumping into Vion's top head pieces in Gundam Breaker 4, or parts, whatever. Because if you recall, or if you saw that some time ago, we did actually do this before the actual ranking parts, and this time I'm going to do my personal ranking, not necessarily like, here's number 5, 3, 4, but my go-to head parts. Now, before I do this, I just want to say your favorite part might not be up here. You might not agree, and that's totally fine because Gunpla is freedom, and that's what we're about. So, hopefully, seeing my list will get you guys talking about your list, as well as some of the other cool things you like to do with your builds and builder parts. So, let's jump into it. So, first off, we're going to start with the head in this video, so let's just go ahead. We started to do a filter here, and I'm going to go through some of these, not all, but some. So, first up, you have Build Strike Gundam. Now, Build Strike Gundam's head I like as from a design aspect. You have the two Vulcans on both sides of the head. You have the beautiful mass detail here where you have the red underneath the regular mass style here. The visor itself is really nice, and I'm a fan of this unique V-fin. Looking at this, you also can tell that you can play around with the glow a little bit. Now, here's what I want to show you, and this will probably be a lot easier to do with this. So I'm going to actually load a random blueprint of mine. Let's see, something we like that we've done recently. Was it Lunar Wolf Alpha? Actually, let's load up Final, because Final was actually super cool. I had a lot of fun with it. All right, and I'm just going to show you guys why I enjoy these parts so much. So, looking at this Build Strike Gundam head here, just to show. It does have a lot of stuff going on. Don't mind me, am I right? But you have the optional skin head Vulcan. You know what these head Vulcans look like, so I'm not going to go and show you all of that. But just taking a look from design standpoint, I think this is a beautiful headpiece, especially with this suit that I have. And just to show the colors you can play around with, boom, easy. So you see I have it matching with not only my black, my gold, but also that tan beige kind of color. And I really love this headpiece for it. And you probably see me use this headpiece on a lot of custom builds, and that's okay because at the end of the day, we love some custom builds, right? All right, up next, another headpiece you guys know I love to use is the crossbones head. Now, the reason I enjoy the crossbone head pieces are a couple of few things. The color you can use here is very fun and very versatile. I say that because you have that design of like the scars, the slants, and I am a huge fan of that. I absolutely love that. Now, if I didn't want that, I can just color those the same color as everything else and write them off. But having the option to do that is really fun. And another thing I really like to do, I'll actually show you guys here. We're going to do this real quick. We're going to go into color. I'm going to paint it very quickly. And you can do this with all head pieces that have parts. Anything you do with paint, it's just what the selection area you can do. So I can actually select these two parts, and then we can, I know we have something, we can select them and we can make them glow. I'm not going to show you guys how to make things glow. We actually made a tutorial video about that, so check that video out if you have not seen it. But being able to do this right here is actually super cool, and it gives me that little vibe of, okay, you know when some Gundams or Gunpla, they power up and they're going to set their next mode. I really love that. I really love that aspect. It's icing on the cake. And that's probably reason why this is one of my top favorite headpieces, and it's just because that kind of detail selection you can play with. Now, up next on the head side, there's a few here. Freedom Gundam. You guys are probably tired of seeing it. I know people love Strike Freedom and Freedom Gundam. I just enjoy the parameters of Freedom Gundam versus Strike Freedom, because you see here we have Strike and Freedom Gundam. They're very similar, but you notice Strike Freedom Gundam is a little bit more thin, while I'm just going to say it outright, this guy's fin is a little bit more chunky, and that's totally fine, and I love that for them. But these two go hand in hand because Freedom and Strike Freedom both look really good on this thing. And I cannot, oh man, I cannot stress this enough. These are gorgeous. And I know people have their reservations about Seed Destiny. It's totally fine. But at the end of the day, those are beautiful design suits, in my opinion. So that's why I love working with them. All right, so up next, you also have the Gundam Barbatos Lupus Rex head. Now, I feel like this head needs a little bit more work when you're doing specific builds, but the really neat thing I enjoy about this particular suit piece is if you were to go, let's see, we're going to equip this here, and we're going to start this up. And of course, you can always change these colors and whatnot. The visual effect with this headpiece is actually super, super cool. You see how it has the trail similar to the actual show following you around. I think that's super, super cool, and I love it. It makes me feel super epic, especially it's like a unspoken cloak or unspoken like cape or something like that. I think it's just really, really cool. Now, let's go ahead and return to default position real quick. There we go. We're going to let that run out. But yeah, looking at that, it activates and it will show during these modes. So you can have fun with it, especially if you want to kit bash. But just keep in mind, it doesn't show with all the EX forms or abilities, just the ones pertaining to this particular power-ups. Now, with that being said, I think it's time for us to go to the next head. But you will also notice if you use the actual EX ability first, which assuming your suit only has one, maybe two, it's going to show. But once you activate it, a second one, there's a chance that it's going to actually fall off after the first EX drops. So just keep that in mind. Your EX Awakened, whatever you want to call it, mode, I think it's still a really cool piece. The sad part is, to my knowledge, you are unable to change the color of that beam that follows you or that after wolf trail image. But do you see now how it's run out and I don't no longer have the eyepieces? That's what I was talking about earlier. In regards, you have to be mindful because it's not going to overlap. It's just going to stick with the one that you activated it with first. So basically, if I were to activate Super Dragoon first, it's going to stay until Super Dragoon is finished. If I activated the other system, Alia system, it's going to just last until Alia is there, and once that is down, it's going to go away. So let's go ahead and not press that button. And again, that's why I love the Rex head, because it just looks super, super freaking cool, dude. Okay, up next, we're a little different here. We have the Gunner Zaku Warrior head. It's very similar to the Zaku Warrior, but here's the kicker. I have two little things to play with here, and I just enjoy this as a Zionic style head. It doesn't have any super crazy abilities or anything like that, but I really enjoy this customizing, and you can always add builder parts onto it, and it's definitely worth an honorable mention because you have seen me use this headpiece quite some time, or a lot. So that is probably what I'll say with the Zionic. And I also want to say I really enjoy Pell Rider, simply because it gives me that UC vibe that I didn't know I ever needed. Look at that face, bro. Look at the design and the sides. You have the Vulcan on the left and right, and then you have the cool coloration. I feel like the visor and all the color customization options here are exactly what I wanted. And if you have not noticed, as of late, we've been using this head a little bit more, and it's absolutely delicious. Now, the neat thing about this suit, this headpiece actually gives you the Hades system. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump back in here. We're going to play around with the Hades system real quick. Now, these systems in these modes, these always give you some sort of buffs, okay? So Hades system, we're going to activate it, and you're going to see we're going to have that little like fiery glow, and our visor is going to turn red. Not only does it make that cool startup sound, it just makes me feel super cool, especially if I'm in a UC suit doing the thing. Or if you're kit bashing and not making it in a UC suit, that's fine too. I think, to each their own. But I really enjoy, you see how my visor went that red? Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I love it. I love it. Makes me feel really cool. So you also see the status here. When you use this mode, you have improved beam resistance, attack power, close range reaction speed, movement speed, jump speed, and boost speed. And it lasts for a decent amount, and it costs 3 EX bars. So there you have it. I could add on a lot more to this list, but right now I want to keep it kind of condensed here because otherwise we'll be going on forever and forever. And of course, you see Strike Nor down here because it's very similar to Freedom. Fight me if you want, but you will see that in similar of its design, mine sits a little bit lower. You can always change that to your liking. But these is my go-to headpieces currently right now. This does not include any DLC parts. I should have mentioned that before because I want to have this for anyone coming to the base game. Again, no DLC parts were chosen here. We could probably revisit that in another video, but hopefully this found you well. And I'm telling you right now, again, personal preference. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you like these headpieces? Do you use these headpieces? Do you modify them? What are your favorite 3 headpieces you like to build Gunpla with? It doesn't have to be anything in this list, but I'm just curious to see what you guys use, and we're going to discuss and have some fun and probably share some builds. Either way, I want to thank you all for taking the time to check this video out. It has been a busy period, but we're finally here. Thank you for your support, and I hope to see you in the next video. Of course, until next time, stay out of trouble and nothing but love. Peace.